Gwen, what's up? It's
Hi,
another Wednesday.
it is. I apologize for the lighting. As you know, I'm on a campground in the car because it's raining.
Yeah,
Um,
whatever, dude.
yeah, whatever. But we have some cool guests. I actually got to meet them as you did at Broadhead.
Yes, at Broadhead.
Yes, we did, and I actually got to meet them again at a different investigation. They were at a birthday party for Rez, who is my partner in the Paranormal Walkabout.
Wait, wait, wait,
So
wait. You did an investigation at a birthday party?
it was the birthday party. Yes, it was awesome.
Oh, that's intriguing. I've not heard of this before.
Yeah,
I
I
like it.
I have done it a couple years in a row actually, but mine weren't like Broadhead. Mine were in South Carolina, and they were smaller. But yes, we did. I mean, we spent the night and everything, and it was awesome. And these guys, I had an experience with Mike in the chapel, and if he wants to talk about it, that's cool. If not,
Yeah, we'll
that's cool
definitely hit
too.
on
But
that.
yeah, but I mean, Ed, we had Ed was at a church in I can't remember Cicero, right out of Chicago. So I got to do. I have seen them several times, and they're awesome.
Nice.
And their group, they
Let
got
me
some
tell
stuff
you,
coming up too.
if I walk into a church, I'm gonna burst into flames. Okay, so I avoid churches at all costs.
Nah,
But
nah.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to this conversation tonight. I think they're great people. We had a great conversation at Broadhead, and it took me a minute to remember who they were. Once
Yes,
I saw the faces, I'm like, okay, I know we met. So yeah, they're
yep.
great people. So where exactly are you at right now, Gwen?
I am in Polk County, Iowa. I'm actually on the lake, and it was a beautiful sunset. We got to see it on Chris's show, lightning also because it's raining.
Nice.
We are actually, yeah, we've been here, there, and yonder. I tell you, it's been a great experience, and
I love it.
I'm gonna push something from me. Paranormal Walkabout is what we're doing. We're basically traveling, doing stuff. We
Don't
haven't
push
ended
things on
yet.
my show, woman.
Well, I'm the co-host, dang it. So,
You're
but
good. You're
yeah,
good.
and I have to say this, Nathaniel, anytime I need advice, anytime I have a question or say, hey, this is what we're doing, he's the guy. So thank you, Dan. Always thank you. And I know we joke
Got
and go
you.
on, but that's what makes it fun. Morgan, hello. You're always there to support us too, and I appreciate
Love you, Morgan.
it.
But yeah, no, you know I got you. Anytime you got a question.
I know.
So if I'm speaking kind of louder than I normally would, I can't tell the volume I'm speaking right now because when I was up at the main Paracon a few weeks back, I
Mhm.
blew my nose and my ear popped. This ear right here, I still cannot hear out of it.
Oh, wow. I mean, you need to get that checked, dude.
It'll be
Listen,
fine.
it'll be fine. It'll bleed. It'll be fine. It'll be all right.
I'm sure to be fine. But without further ado, I don't want to keep our guests in the background. So,
Mm-mm.
everyone out there watching the Paranormal Unveiled tonight, thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight, we have Ed and Mike from SPIRE Paranormal.
Hey, guys. Thank you for
Hey
coming.
guys.
What is going on, guys?
Not much, just craziness around my house and kids and dogs and all kinds of no ghosts, but there are a lot of kids and dogs and
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate you guys coming on the podcast. I know it was kind of like a last minute thing. So thank you guys so much.
yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
First thing I want to
Thank
get
you.
into is a question for both of you, and I want you both to answer individually. So, what got you guys into the paranormal? Like, was it an experience, or was it just reading books or watching television and you got interested?
Well, for me, I grew up in a haunted house in Mishawaka, Indiana. I was born there, lived there till I was 13. House, I always heard voices, saw, apparitions, stuff like that. As I got older, I stopped seeing and hearing those type of things, but it always kind of stuck with me. And then when my wife and I were
Russ.
first married, we lived in a house in Hanover Park, Illinois that was haunted. We had 2 ghosts there, and one of the ghosts actually injured my kid.
Oh, no.
and it left me with answers, or I'm sorry, with questions that I needed answers for. A friend of ours, his name is Gene. He started a paranormal group because he also was into it and watch. They would watch Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and all that stuff, and we watched Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures.
Who didn't?
Right. And so he started a team called 3 a.m. Extreme Paranormal. They're still
I've heard of them.
Okay. So they're still around. Great people. Investigated with them not too long ago. And but I decided that I wanted to branch off and start my own team and start grabbing people that I worked with and people that I know from Scouts and said, "Hey, come up to Broadhead with me and let's go ghost hunting and see what happens." And then that's basically it.
All right. So how about you, Mike?
I've always had an interest my entire life. I had a couple experiences when I was really young. My grandfather passed away, and everybody was getting ready to go to the funeral, and I couldn't understand. I didn't understand what was going on. I was about 5 and a half at the time. They didn't want to give me any information, but I was sitting on the edge of my mom's bed, and I saw my grandfather sit down next to me, put his arm around me, and he said, "Everything's going to be okay, Michael." And I felt a little bit of peace. That night I threw up, but that was literally my very first encounter ever. And then after that, I just started encountering other small little things. I heard voices. I saw ghosts walking across the room. I'd bring that up to my family, and they would say, "Hey, you know what? You're crazy. That don't pay attention to that." So when I was 12, this is a wild story. When I was 12, I was watching hockey with my cousin. So we're down in the basement, and we saw the light in the laundry room go on and off, and we couldn't figure out what was going on. We thought, problem with the switch, fuse, whatever. So
Right.
we went over into the room, and the light was on at the time. We turned it off, and we came back, sat down, flickered again. So we went back again, couldn't understand what was going on. And then this weird feeling came over to both of us. So we turned off the light, closed the door, we went and sat back down. The light came on, came off, came back on again. The door opened, and a cigar started floating out, a lit cigar.
What?
Yes. My cousin and I looked at each other, Nikki and I looked at each other like, "Oh my God." And we started running. And then we can hear my aunt, "Michael, Nikki, are you smoking in the basement?" I'm like, "No, Auntie, we're not. We're not." And she recognized the smell. It was the smell of her late husband. Nikki used to smoke this
Oh.
specific
Thank you,
cigar.
Russ.
So it that was the wildest thing. And don't tell anybody about this. I'm like, okay, Auntie,
Mhm.
but of course I'm telling people.
So
But
I have
it's crazy.
I have never in my 18 years of doing this heard of someone that has seen a physical, I guess you could say, manifestation of a cigar or any
Yeah.
object floating
hmm
out of the area. That is so wild.
It was there.
Oh, I
It was
believe
there.
you.
You can smell the cigar. It's wild. It was wild.
So, from what I gathered from the bio that Ed sent me yesterday when we were booking this whole podcast, because like I said, it was kind of like a last minute thing.
Yeah, thank you again.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Mike, would you consider yourself like a medium or an empath? Because from
Um,
what I gather, you can feel things from locations, correct?
yes, I can look at pictures, and it will take me a little bit, and then I begin to have dreams, and I start to see images, and the story begins to formulate. So I
Okay.
do consider myself an empath.
Okay.
And
That's actually what I thought. That's literally what I
mm,
told my girlfriend before the show tonight. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Mike is empathic.
yeah, and I felt that all my life. I mean, you can feel emotions when you walk into a room. You know how everybody else is feeling in the room. You walk in there and
Yes.
you're like, "Whoa, wait a second, should I
Yeah,
be here?"
it's like when you
But
walk into a
everybody goes
room.
that.
It's like when you walk
Yeah.
into a room after a couple has just had an argument.
Right.
You can
Exactly.
feel the tension. You can literally cut it with a knife.
And then you
Yep.
go into a room and it's like a restaurant, almost like a live Estes. You go into a restaurant, and you hear everybody, and it's really good moods. And there's always one or two that I can pick out that just the emotions are just so high, and I can pinpoint them. I can point them out, and it looks like they're having a rough time, or they're about to have, you know, a very interesting evening after they leave. You know, I told Ed before, I can sense passion. I mean, it's really, really strong. And
So
the other part too is that I also can, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I also
there
feel
you go.
like
It's your show. I'm just the
I'm a
guy
bit of a
asking questions.
medium. I feel I'm a medium. I can still sense ghosts. I can still talk to them. I have a bit of an entourage, which goes into the story with our with Glenn at the
Hmm.
chapel at Broadhead. That was wonderful. That
Yes,
was
it was.
fantastic.
I would
Your
love to hear
grandma
about
show up
that
again?
later in the show for sure.
Yeah, my grandma's always with me. So, you
Yeah.
know, I had this opportunity to reflect on why she was giving Gwen a little bit of a hard time, but she wasn't giving her a hard time. She was, but what she was trying to do was protect you, trying to warn you because of Groot.
Yeah.
And I think
So
that was the reason why. And she just gave me confirmation. Sorry.
you're good. You're good.
No,
So
it's
go
fine.
ahead, Gwen.
No, it's fine. It was. I mean, it was crazy. We were just
Hmm.
sitting. He was on one pew. There was an aisle. If you've seen it in Broadhead, and I was
Yeah.
sitting over here, and we're both on the front ones. We put a couple things out, and we were kind of talking, because we didn't know each other well. Of course, and all of a sudden, things just. I have abilities that I don't talk about all the time, but both
Hmm.
of us kind of we kind of looked at each other. You remember that, Mike? We kind of looked, and we
Yep.
just kind of, and she was raising Cain at me. I mean, she was fussing,
Yes.
and
Yep.
she was doing it in a language that I didn't know. So I'm like, oh
Yes.
my gosh, and it was not to take up the whole show, but I will never forget it. I think it was a special moment because I think that she was trying to protect, but
Hmm.
And what do
it
you
was,
mean
it
take
was,
up the whole show? We still got like 40 minutes. We're good.
I know, but we could go on because it was just such a,
Yes.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you might, but I won't forget it because it was just, she didn't know me, so,
Mm-mm.
and,
Yeah.
Nope.
Mike's grandma
I
can
just,
get a little bit crazy when her
yes,
heckles get up and she thinks that he's in danger,
Hmm.
and
She will.
we have had been on investigations. Have had to tell her to calm down or maybe step away or
No,
I thought that she might have a
grandma's all.
problem
She'll
because,
never step. Nope.
yeah.
oh yeah, I thought she
She
might have a
stays.
problem because I was a female and we were together in the chapel, but we weren't like doing anything. We were sitting there,
Right.
an aisle
Not that
across,
we know of.
and yeah, well, no.
No.
He's a married man, and
Yes.
I know
he
I'm not
has
trying to
wife
spread
and children.
rumors. That was a joke, guys.
I
Calm
know,
down.
but his grandma was not. She was not happy, and
Nope.
then Ed came in, and then something pulled my hair, and Rez walked in behind me because I even went out because it hurt. Somebody pulled my hair, and I think it was her. I
It
don't
was
know.
her.
Yeah,
It was her.
and
Yep.
it was a little bizarre, but it was an interesting moment. I think it was kind of a special moment for him because
Hmm.
his grandmother was protecting him, and
Yep.
that is just special to me.
And
So
and you too. You as well.
yeah,
She wanted you out of there. She
yeah,
wanted
she
us
did
both
not.
out of there.
Yeah, she didn't want us down there at all.
Well,
I think she wanted us out of the whole basement type
I
thing.
think so.
in my
Yeah.
opinion, that whole basement feels off.
It does. It
It,
does.
a little bit.
Like
A
I
little
love.
bit.
For me, the chapel was the most calming part for me. I took a picture in front of the preacher stand, like I was
Hmm.
giving a sermon, which actually I'm going to ask Bill if I can actually film a video of that because I want to get up there and give a sermon in the chapel. See how it goes. I want to see what kind of activity I can ramp up, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Hmm.
But so going off of that topic, Ed, Mike,
Yeah.
how did you guys meet? Either one of you guys can answer this. I don't, or you could be a combination.
So during COVID, they decided to open a facility in Gurnee, Illinois. We call it J54, where they were making the Binax Now COVID tests. And Mike had actually worked for Abbott Labs, who was making that. And I was out of work at the time and got hired in there as a contractor. And I was working as a quality engineer. He was working as a line lead, or not line lead, but a frontline lead. And we just struck up conversation and started hanging out and became friends. And then when I decided that I wanted to start looking at forming my own team, I said, "Hey, Mike, you want to go ghost hunting?" And he was like, "Yeah." and that's basically it. The rest, as they say, is history.
I love it.
But I think it started. Do you believe in ghosts? That's how it started, and we talked for the next 45 minutes about it. Yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts? Let me tell you some of the experiences I've had. Let me tell you, and he started telling me about how some of the encounters that he had, and I said, "All right, you guys want to go up to Broadhead?" And so, like I said, I pulled together a group of folks that we worked with, and some other people that I know from Scouts, because I'm big into scouting, and we decided to go up to Broadhead. And the funny thing is I had this group of people, and Bill Walter, the owner of Broadhead's like, "All right, what's your team called?" Bill. Oh yeah, Bill's the best. And Bill's like, "What's your team called?" And I'm like, "Well, we don't have a name, just a group of people." He's like, "No, you got to have a name. What's your team called?" So I go, "I don't know, Spirit Hunting Investigation Team." So he goes, "So you're shit paranormal?" And I went, "Yes, we are."
Yes. That's what Bill would say.
So that was actually the original name of the team was Shit Paranormal. But some of our members are teachers, and they're like, "We can't wear a t-shirt that says shit to school." So
I'm sporting. Like, if y'all sold merch for Shit Paranormal, I'm fucking sporting.
So we actually sell merch that says Shit Paranormal.
We have it.
Look, you send me the link, because I will fucking sport that.
I will send you a link to our Printify shop. But yeah, so I still refer to the main group of folks as the shit team, and I'm always like, "All right, let's get this shit on the road, and let's start this shit show." And basically anywhere we are, it's bound to be a shit show anyway. So we're at our core, we're Shit Paranormal.
It's not bound to be a shit show.
I love
it. We're also the shit, so don't forget about that either.
Right.
True. Look, it's not bound to be a shit show. You got the great people. You do great things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We got a logo that's says the Spirit Hunting Investigation Team with the first letter highlighted in purple, and we got this little picture of a ghost on it that's pooping itself, and then at the bottom it goes in red. It says, "Does anybody else need a new pair of pants?"
I love it. I absolutely do too. Love that.
I do.
Like, you get the chef's kiss on that. Like, I love it.
So, but we spend a lot of time. Hey, Jenny. We spend a lot of time up at Broadhead. I've done a lot of the research for the building. I'm actually the one who figured out that who the janitor is and the principal. And
so, have we figured out how in the hell the handprints got burned into the banisters in that?
Oh, the up on the top there.
Yeah, have we figured that out?
It's either the kids or the crawlers.
Here's the thing. I don't think there's a crawler there.
Oh yeah. They're ceiling crawlers.
Oh yeah.
They are, and they are weird. They are weird.
Yeah, they are.
Me personally, and this is the whole reason Bill brought me in the first place, is I'm a skeptic.
Right.
And I think it's a thought form. I don't think it's a crawler at all. I think it's a thought form. I think people are going in there and printing the energy that they're seeing something that they cannot understand. And so many people have seen things that they cannot understand, that energy has now created a thought form in the form of a crawler.
Could be.
Well, there was the story.
It makes sense.
that Bill was telling us, there was a team in there. They were playing music in that one room where the handprints are on the ceiling, and they had a thermal camera,
Yeah.
and they actually saw an individual coalesce and then crawl up the beam and physically leave a handprint, and then crawl back down and go
Interesting.
back. So
Yeah.
they have that. I forgot who I
Yeah.
forgot who actually recorded that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Revs.
ask
Yeah,
Bill.
the elementals are there as well. Yeah, we
Yes.
all know that.
Right.
There's two of them, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah. Groot is down at the end where the chapel is, and
Yep.
I believe.
and
So
that
I
room
think
is.
it's more than that. I think there's one outside.
Yeah,
I'm
there
gonna
is.
There
try.
is.
I've got.
There
I've
is.
got to try when we go back in June.
Hmm.
I want. I want to
Mhm.
do a solo, blindfolded, in the boiler room.
Okay.
I want to be left in there for an hour by myself, blindfolded.
Okay. Cool.
I want to see what happens.
All right. John is probably going to be sitting there staring at you, going, "What in the fuck is this guy doing?"
Yep.
And you know what? I'll tell him whatever the fuck I want.
Right. Right. John is an interesting interesting
Let me put
individual.
this up real
Um,
quick.
He
Oh, the disclaimer, yeah, for the language. I get that. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Because I always cuss. We always cuss. So.
yeah.
yeah.
So John is an interesting individual. He
Jenny's,
he's
Jenny's
kind of
true.
yeah.
Mhm.
I did not.
He's kind of a gruff guy, and he will tell you to get out. He will, and if you don't get out when he tells you to get out, he will push you out.
Yep.
I welcome it.
And he's choked a guy out before because he was telling untruths in the
Yep.
building.
Mhm.
You know,
He
but
deserved it.
but if you're straight with John and you know, and you're honest and with what you're doing in there, and you go in there with the intent of, you know, hey, I respect you, I respect your space, I just want to, you know, be in here and have a conversation with you, 9 out of 10 times he'll be okay with you. Our team medium, Chrissy, John usually won't deal with mediums. He usually doesn't want to talk to them or whatever. But they had a kids' night at Broadhead the weekend before we were there with a bunch of scouts, and their kids were running all over the place, causing a little havoc. Made John really upset. And when we were there the following weekend with the scouts, Chrissy went in there and said, "Hey, John, we're in here with scouts. They're going to be respectful to you. I'll make sure that, you know, if you don't want them in here, I won't let them in here around you." And so ever since then, Chrissy and John have a really good rapport, and she's like his favorite medium.
I'm really curious to see what's going to happen when I bring my girlfriend into the boiler room, because she's a medium.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I'm curious to see whether or not he'll respond, because I'm always respectful to the spirits within the space.
Mm-hmm.
That's your space. It's not mine.
Right.
And so my issue is when people go in there and they try to act like it's their space and the spirits are invading.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not the
True.
case. You're investigating the incorrect way.
Right.
So
Mhm.
I know that you guys deal with residential cases as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So would you agree with me in the standpoint that people who I could say do not know much about the paranormal, as far as they've just watched a few TV shows and think it's cool and they want to do it, that they take on a residential case because they formed a team based off of a TV show that they watched 3 weeks ago, and they go in and they make things worse for the family?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Because they watch Zach
Definitely.
Bagans and his group go in there and
Oh,
you know, yell and scream and run around
Mhm.
like, you know, with their chickens with their heads cut off, and they
Act
think that's
silly.
how they're supposed to be
Yep.
Yeah.
behave. You know, as I had mentioned before, I'm huge into scouting, and I actually approached the paranormal
So
pretty
I'm a life
much.
scout.
Okay. So
Cool.
I've been a scout leader for the last 15 years. I wasn't a scout as a kid, but all three of my kids are Eagle Scouts. And
Nice.
I approach the paranormal much the same way that I approach scouting. You go in there, you be respectful of the space, you leave things as they are, and try not to take things out of there if you can't, unless somebody asks you to, remove something. Leave no trace, and
Yep.
and that's it. We go in there, we're respectful, hey Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Hey, Greg.
And we're
Greg.
we're there to help. We're there to talk.
Mhm.
We're there to communicate, what's going on. As you said, you're a skeptic. I'm also a skeptic. So, when we go in to do a residential home, what I try to do first is I try to set up what we call a vetting, which is we go in there. Usually it's me and Mike and maybe Alex, or one of our other techs, and Chrissy if she's available. And if not Chrissy, we'll see if we can get another medium available to come out there with us. And we go in with no cameras, just, voice recorders, K2 meters, things like that. And we sit down and talk to the homeowner and ask what's going on. What do you have going on? We walk around with the K2 meter or the tri-field meter and try to see if we can figure out, is there electromagnetic areas around here? I'm highly sensitive to EMF.
Yeah, you have electromagnetic hypersensitivity.
Right. So if I walk into a place and there's a fear cage situation, I know right away, because all of a sudden you'll see me going.
You know what? This is the first time I have ever talked to a guest that knew what a fear cage was.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, I've been having a conversation with a potential client who's got a home in Hinsdale, and it sounds like she's got a major fear cage situation going on there. But we try to debunk, like I said, we try to debunk what we can. Oh, my cabinets are opening and closing. Okay, well, let's take a look at this.
Look at the hinges. Look at
the hinges.
Yep.
Are they level?
Yep.
I've got windows and doors opening. Is there a vacuum happening? Take out a candle, see if there's some kind of breeze. I've got things sliding across the floor. Okay, well, let's take a ball bearing and throw it on the floor and see what happens.
I love your style.
So we try to debunk what we can. We try to, we let Chrissy walk around and do her thing and see if she picks up on anything. And we try to get, we try to get a baseline. And then if it warrants it, if Chrissy's picking up on things, if we, do an EMF, or not EMF, but use the voice recorder and do an EVP session and get some voices coming across or whatever. And we go, okay, well, it seems like there's something possibly here. Do you want to go ahead and have us bring in the whole crew and the cameras and everything like that and do a full-on investigation? Or are you satisfied with, because a lot of times Chrissy will be like, look, it's your grandma. She's just letting you know that she's here. She doesn't mean to scare you. Or, if she's like, it's the old owners of the home. They love the house. They want to stay. They don't mind that. They like that you're here. They like what you've done to the house. They don't like what you did to the house. They just want you to, put a little, say hi to them every once in a while type of thing. And if the homeowner's okay with that and they don't want to pursue doing another, a full investigation, then cool. And if you need anything else, let us know. But if they do, then, we'll come in, we'll set everything up, and they're certainly welcome to join in on the investigation with us. We did a house in Chicago, Illinois last year. It was a house that was originally, or it was owned previously by a retired Chicago firefighter. And the house had a bar in it that originally came out of the original Cubs Bar and Grill, or what would become the Cubby Bear.
Yep.
And supposedly Babe Ruth drank at this bar.
Wouldn't shock me.
So they took the bar out of the
Really?
They took the bar out of the Cubby Bear, brought it into the house, and this firefighter just loved this bar and loved hanging out at this bar. So we started talking to this retired firefighter who died in the home, or died while he lived there, and we were sitting there, and all of a sudden you smell like somebody popped open like a can of Old Style. Like you get that freshly popped beer smell. We got him we were doing a spirit box session, and we got them to say the Bears. We got them to say Ditka. We got him to say Polish sausage.
The Bears.
We asked him what he thought of the Packers. He said they sucked. You know, it was awesome.
Because they do.
Yeah, but so, but yeah. So I mean, and the homeowner, because they had a small child, they were worried about, is my child safe? Is there, we know that we've got the firefighter here, but we think that there's some other things there. We discovered that up in the attic there were a couple of wise guys. They were like a couple blocks away from the local cemetery, and there were a couple of gangsters hanging out up in there in their attic that were basically like lookout type things. And then what really kind of surprised us is there was actually a nature entity there, basically what we would call an imp, and he called himself Blue Man, and he was there to look over and protect the child.
Interesting, because imps are more known for being mischievous.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they can be protective as well. It just depends on the folklore that you're looking at.
Right. Right. One of the guys, one of the mediums that works with 3 a.m., I'll reach out to him if we're not able to get in to do a vetting, because he's got this peculiar thing that he can look at a home on Google Street Maps and see, like, remotely see what's going on in there.
Well, if they ever want to come on my show, they're more than welcome.
I'll let him know. And he basically said that he thought that there was like some kind of troll or something in the house. And so I started Googling pictures of troll. I'm like, well, this is troll. He goes, yeah, that's not right. And I'm like, well, this is an imp. He's like, that's it. So one of the interesting things that happened there too is I have the ability to push and pull energy. I've never really met anybody else who's been able to do what I do, but I'm basically like almost like a human EM pump. I can fill a space with energy. I can pull the energy out of a space. But we had the homeowner using the dowsing rods trying to communicate with the spirits there, and they were just kind of waggling back and forth, and they weren't really working. So I'm like, well, here, let me try to push a little energy down into these dowsing rods. And so I put my hand over the top of the dowsing rods, and I'm pushing energy down into the dowsing rods. And then all of a sudden we hear this pop, like an old glass fuse popping, or like an old fuse popping. And electricity arced from the end of the dowsing rod into my hand. And it hurt like hell. And you could smell the ozone. And that's the first time that's ever happened to me. And then I actually went to go to grab the dowsing rods from her, and it happened a second time.
Interesting. So another question for both of you. I want you both to answer individually. So Mike, I know you've not necessarily been involved in the paranormal as long as Ed has, right? But
correct.
Has there been a moment that I would classify as that I almost crap my pants moment that made you question whether or not you wanted to be in this field? And if that has happened, what was that experience?
Well, the people on my team like to give me a lot of crap because I will rush in. So, and I tell them I'm old, okay? I'm 58. So if something's coming after me, I'm going to rush at it, because more than likely, if I try running away, it's going to catch me. So I always tell people I will go where angels fear to tread. But we're at Brumshire Mansion, and we're doing an Estes.
I remember this.
Yep. And I do the Estes quite a bit. I love doing the Estes.
It's a very interesting method. I love it.
Yep.
I do too.
I love it. So I'm sitting there, and I'm not hearing much other than I'm hearing poker chips popping. I'm hearing guys making offers, throwing bets down. And then I hear my full name, Michael Alsip.
Oh.
And I'm like, what the? Are you kidding me? And I threw the headset off, and that scared the crap out of me. I never heard my full name before. So I'm like, does this happen? I mean, this is the first time anybody's ever said, I mean, I've had my first name, I've had my middle name, never had my full name said. So yes, that was a, oh my God, I just crap my pants moment.
It's probably one of
So,
your entourage.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't. So that was an interesting moment.
Oh, I
So,
bet
Ed, your
so.
turn.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to have a crap my pants moment. And I've had a lot of things happen to me. I mean, when the ghost attacked my kid in our house in Hanover Park, I got pushed back 2 feet. The thing hit me at the door, pushed me back 2 feet, and ran down the stairs. And I think it was just the buildup of the adrenaline that made it not be a crap my pants a moment. Otherwise, who knows? I've had things thrown at me. I've been tapped. I've had something grab the back of my neck, which startled me, and I jumped, but it wasn't what I would call a crap my pants moment. I'm still waiting.
Oh, so you're just a hard ass.
Rez. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that it's not that I'm a hard ass. I think it's just
I
that
was just messing with you, by the way.
Yeah, no, I know. But I think it's just that I go in there with a mindset that I'm expecting. So, when you go into a haunted house at Halloween time, the fake haunted houses.
Oh, the jump scares. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I walk in there and I basically look around and watch and look and see where everything is and start pointing them out. Or I'll sit there and feel.
Yeah, it's distraction points. That's all you got to look for is the distraction points.
Right.
Once you hit the distraction point, you already know there's going to be a jump scare. There's going to be someone around the corner. Once you physically realize it, you're like, this really isn't all that scary.
Right. But the crazy thing is I watch like horror movies and stuff like that, and something jumps out in a horror movie, and I'm like jumping out of the couch. But when I'm physically there, I can't watch horror movies. When I'm physically there, I'm fine. But I'm watching something on TV, or if I'm watching something on my phone, watching a reel on my phone, and it's one of the ones where it's like, oh, it's a video, and these kids fishing for goldfish, and all of a sudden this thing like pops out at you like this. I'm like, all over the place.
Really?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
So you go into the depths of the darkness, hunting for ghosts.
Yeah.
But you can't watch a video that is most likely AI.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ed, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I love it. I think it's a great, unique aspect. Because there's so many people out there that watch these videos and they buy into them, and I assume you're one of them now. But
yeah,
it's just one of those things where it's just an interesting fact because it is what it is.
Yeah,
we've been on investigations, and we'll come around the corner and we'll scare each other. We'll jump back like, whoa, we weren't expecting each other to be in that pit. It happens all the time.
So can I ask you, am I the only person? So when my team goes and does investigations, we do a lot of residential stuff. We don't typically deal with public investigations. But if public investigations arise, I'm normally the one to go and do it.
Yeah.
But we're in a private investigation, and the activity is quiet. Nothing's happening. Am I the only one that when it's pitch black dark takes the opportunity to scare one of my teammates?
No.
No.
Nope.
Because if it's quiet and I have an opportunity to jump out at you, I'm going to do it.
We do it all the time to each other. You're not expecting it.
Yeah. We do it. Eternal Paranormal does it.
Yep. It's fun.
It is. Yeah. You got to keep the liveliness because a lot of people don't realize is what you see on TV is not how a paranormal investigation works.
Nope.
You're looking at what 12, I'm going to say 10 to 12 hours, maybe 8 to 12, condensed into an hour-long format.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing is the exciting parts. You're not seeing the several hours where you're sitting around not receiving anything.
Yeah.
Hey, Tiffy.
Speaking of Eternal Paranormal, hey Tiffy.
Hi.
But yeah, I always tell everybody, because everyone's like, "Isn't it exciting doing it?" I'm like, "Well, I said 70% of a paranormal investigation is sitting in a dark room talking to yourself."
Literally.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's not a fun experience, but if this is what you want to do, you deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're sitting in that room, and like nothing is happening for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone's gonna leave the room. Fuck it, station yourself just outside the door, and when they walk out the door, jump scare them.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And evidence review, doing evidence review is even worse.
Oh, it is. Oh God, it is. Well,
it's terrible.
Here's the thing, and I'm gonna speak facts here. If you have 4 recorders running for 12 hours, exponential math. It's not you're reviewing 1 recorder for 12 hours. You're now reviewing 4 recorders for 12 hours.
Right.
And it's painstaking. It's not easy. And you can't do it all on your own. And that was my issue. In the beginning of my pursuit of the paranormal, I wanted to review all evidence myself. And I got to the point where I realized that it's physically impossible.
Yeah. I put our evidence on a Google Drive and encourage them to get on and help do evidence review, because I don't want to do it myself.
I love doing it. That's the thing. It's just I know physically I can't.
Right. Right. Plus, this way, if something pops up, I can be like, "Hey, Mike, get on the Google Drive. Look, check this out."
Right.
Or, if he's not there and it's Alex on our team, "Hey, Alex, jump on there." And, was this you, or was, because we'll hear voices or whatever. And I'll be like, okay, that could have been Alex because he was off camera, but it, might not be. Mike and I used to have disagreements all the time because Mike would like to whisper to other people because he thought that
don't do that.
Right. And I kept having to say, "Mike, stop whispering."
I never did that much.
Bullshit. So
that's some bullshit.
So that type of thing. But we've got one of the most recent investigations we did was the courthouse museum in Watseka, Illinois. We're actually the first team to ever go in there and do a full investigation.
Nice.
And we spent the night, slept in the courtroom, and we left our 4 static cameras running all night long. So from 6:00 in the afternoon to 8:00 the next morning, these cameras were running. 2 of them actually ran out of battery.
So,
2 of them are dead.
Before you carry on that, could you explain to people out there, because it's not my show, it's technically yours, I'm just a guy asking questions. Could you explain to the people out there who are new to the paranormal, what is a static camera?
So static camera is a stationary camera that you set up in a hot spot to basically just sit and run and record the whole night. The ones that we use are Wise cameras. They run we can run them off of a battery pack. They've got motion detection, and
infrared
and all that stuff. And we just basically set them up in the corner of a room that's supposed to be really active or down a hallway and just let them go.
Fair enough. So I see we got about, Gwen, I'm seeing was about 48 minutes. So we got about
48 minutes
12 minutes left.
Yeah, that's good.
So you guys have an event coming up, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to hit on that. I'm sorry it took so long to get to that, but we need to hit on that.
It just means that we're going to have to come back on your show again.
You can.
There you go.
You can.
Absolutely. So we are partnering with Graveside Paranormal. Neil Gibbons owns Graveside Paranormal. He's got all kinds of events set up all through October. Basically, what he set us up with is what we call the Double Dead Tour. We are going to be at the Roth House and at the Courthouse Museum in Watseka, Illinois. So that story that I just told was the perfect segue. Basically, if you're not familiar with what the Roth House is the site of the first recorded spiritual possession in America.
I knew what it was.
Yeah. Well, in case any of your listeners didn't know, but basically, yeah, but basically, it's a house that was built in the early 1900s by a spiritualist. If you're not familiar with what spiritualism is, it's a Christian group that believes in communicating beyond the veil. The house was actually purposely built with the intention of being able to communicate with spirits. There's actually an altar built into the brick on one side of the
I
wall.
did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah. The way the positioning of the windows and the doors and everything like that is very, very open and susceptible to communicating with spirits. People talk about feng shui, and this place is very shui. The grove of trees just outside of the house, I walked out there, out to the backyard, and I'm looking around. I'm going, this is a witch's circle. They're circled up, like, when people talk about, witches dancing in the moonlight to, around the fire. This is exactly what they're talking about.
Look, don't judge me. I do what I want.
Oh, no judgment here. I like dancing in the moonlight. So that's the first location we're going to. The second location we're going to is back to the old courthouse museum. This was the original courthouse for the county. The jail cells are still in the basement. It's very, very active. There's we've encountered the spirit of a judge up in the courthouse. There's a room set up with war artifacts, and we've encountered and spoke to ghosts in there. But the main thing is down in the basement where the jail cells is. There was a gentleman by the name of Martin. I shouldn't call him a gentleman because he was a right bastard. Actually, he beat his child to death with a snake whip.
Well, he's beyond a bastard then.
And then basically went to the sheriff and told him that his kid ran away.
Yep.
His daughter basically outed him and told the sheriff what happened. So the sheriff came and got Martin and threw him in jail. And then when the townspeople found out about it, they came and got Martin, pulled him out of there, made a noose, strung him up on it by a tree, and hung him to death. It was a lynch mob.
Yep.
So the noose that he was hung with is hanging on the wall in his jail cell.
Oh, that's insane.
And Martin is down there, and we have this particular spirit box. I call it my Elliot box. Elliot from AGP Paranormal made it for me out of an old Bendix radio that I had. And we set that thing up down there, and Martin spent the entire day that we were down there, the first time we were there, yelling at Mike.
Yep.
Telling me he was going to beat him, that he was going to, he better run, that he was going to whip his ass, that, the whole time.
The whole time.
I mean, was it warranted?
Well, Mike kept telling his story.
I kept telling his story, yeah.
Oh.
But when the women went in there, he was nice. He was super nice. And when you left the room, we were actually outside the jail cell. We were talking with another group. I forgot the name of the group. But we were having a conversation with him, and you heard in the box, "Hey, come back."
Yeah.
And I said, "You want us to come back?" And he's, "Yeah." I'm like, "You narcissistic piece of need attention. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Go back in there." And then he started calling me names again.
And by the end of the day, when we were done running tours down through there, he basically asked Mike, just because Mike's been telling his story all day long. He's like, just please stop.
Yep.
So has there ever been a location that you guys have been to that you were just like, in awe of the activity?
Well, Broadhead for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
But
Don't
yeah,
partner up Bill. He knows his activities, what
Yeah.
it is.
Actually, just recently we were at the Freeport Freemason Lodge,
Yes.
and the activity there was crazy.
That was wonderful. That was fantastic.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
the courthouse and the
Ashmore Estates was phenomenal.
yeah, I didn't get to go on that one. Jericho,
Jericho.
the Jericho is they call it the Haunted Trinity, although now they got 6 buildings, but basically it's a church, a convent, and a school, all 3 side by side by side.
No
And-
shit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
I'd be
But-
intrigued to check that place out.
Yeah, it's and very reasonable too.
Yes.
Very reasonable.
Well, send me the prices. If I can afford it, I might have to make a trip for that because I'm intrigued.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get you in touch with their people too. But yeah, so our event that's coming up is on Halloween night. So Friday, October 31st. Cost is $120. You get 2 locations, pizza, drinks, and
And us.
And us. Yeah, you'll be hanging out with us all night. Mike and I are going to split into 2 teams. I'm going to take a couple of the folks from our team over to the Roth House. He's going to take some over to the courthouse. And then 11 o'clock, we swap locations.
I love that. I love the
And we have a
swapping
special
locations.
guest. And we have a special guest.
Yeah. We actually found out that one of the people that is coming that night, that bought tickets to come that night, is coming all the way from New Orleans, and she is actually Laurencie Venom's great granddaughter.
Oh, I
Oh,
love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
So for people out there that want to find Spire Paranormal, where can they find you at? Like, what are your socials? Do you have, X, or do you have? I know you guys
Yeah.
have Facebook, but
Mhm.
Instagram. Like, where can people find you?
Our website is ghostlyspire.com. We're on Facebook under the Spire Paranormal. We are also on Instagram under the same. We're on X, although I don't really ever post there.
I never do either.
We do have YouTube Spire team. There's
Mhm.
a few videos out there. I'm really horrible at doing video editing, so I've got to
Me
get
too.
more. I've got to get more stuff edited up so we can get it out on there. But yeah, if you go to our website, ghostlyspire.com, all of our links are there. And then we also have our Printify store, which is the Spire store.
Well, here's the thing, brother. I'm gonna comment on your YouTube thing, right?
Mhm.
You don't have to be great at editing to put out a YouTube video.
no, you
Yeah.
I'm
don't.
not great.
No.
I'm not great at it. My clips make me seem like I am, but I promise you, I'm not. Sometimes people enjoy the raw content
Right.
compared to the editing. So just bear that in mind.
Right.
But
My intention originally with as far as YouTube was to actually put like 30 to 40-minute episodes
yes,
on there.
yes.
And I have since shitbagged that idea, and so now I'm just going to be putting out like little 30-second, 1-minute clips and stuff like that.
That's what's selling right now. Here's the
Yeah.
thing. You can't go with what's selling right now because once you put it on your platform, it's going to be there forever unless you delete the platform, right?
Right.
So for me, I try to keep my videos 45 minutes. That's the max.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And trust me, if you build it, they will come.
Yep.
So we're going to end off the show, guys, with my typical multi-part question. And it's the question that
it.
both of you have to answer. Okay?
Okay.
So you have one location that you have never been to. It could be anywhere in the world. It's your bucket list. What location are you going to?
Oh
Oh,
man.
I
I
love watching
personally
the. I love
would.
watching the. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah,
Thinking.
pull out the crumbs.
Yeah,
Now,
right.
I would love to go to the Japanese forest. I forgot the name of it. It's out at the base
Yes.
of Mount Fuji.
Ayabachi Forest.
Thank you.
Yep.
I would love to make a visit.
So would I.
That
So
would
that's
be
on
awesome.
my bucket list as well.
Hmm. Maybe we should
Um,
plan something.
Um, you know what? I'm down.
yeah, I really love New Orleans. Been there a bunch of times, and yeah, just anywhere in NOLA, I would love to investigate. The Lurie Mansion is high on that
Oh,
list.
Lori,
Hmm.
absolutely.
You know,
Cool.
but there's so many places, and actually,
Yeah.
the last time I was out there, my wife and I went on a ghost tour, and it was a great time, and we found out about all these different locations and stuff like that. So I've been writing them down, and I'm like, okay, once we get out there with this team, we've got to try to get into some of these locations. So
Okay. Okay, I love it. So we got the Japanese forest. We have the. I'm just gonna say the Lori Mansion, but we'll go with NOLA. We're gonna go with
Yeah.
New Orleans. So you can only bring one person with you, and this person can be alive or dead. Do not have to be involved in the paranormal. Who are you bringing with you?
Mike.
It would have to be my grandmother. She's going to come with me regardless.
Yeah. She's gonna be there.
Yep.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Mike or Chrissy. Chrissy, our medium, Chrissy Clokey. She's kind of my medium ride or die. Her and I have been friends since 2007, and she's kind of like my adopted little sister. And I love her to death, and I love Mike. Him and I become fast friends, and just either one of them, getting into doing the paranormal stuff is just so much fun.
That's fair. So we got the suicide forest. We have NOLA, and we have Mike's grandmother and Christy. Let's go with that, right? So you have one piece of equipment that you can bring with you. What is that piece of equipment, and why?
Dowsing rods.
Definitely dowsing rods. Dowsing rods,
Wow.
I think they're the easiest and most simplest way that they can communicate. And if you go, and unfortunately, my grandmother, she can't hold a pair of dowsing rods. It's always good to have both people to have dowsing rods. That way, you can have confirmation.
Yeah.
I like it.
Uh,
Okay.
And they can't drain the batteries.
no, they can't.
That's
Oh,
They can
true.
drain
that's
you.
true. That's a good idea.
That is very true.
Yeah.
I'm
me-
I'm bringing these to Broadhead, which are actually retractable dowsing rods.
Right.
Huh.
Yep.
Cool.
For me, when I'm holding dowsing rods, besides the fact that they're answering with the yes and no and the things going back and forth, for whatever reason, they almost act like an antenna, and I start getting images forming in my head. Of like when we were at the Watseka Courthouse Museum, and I started talking to the Native American lady down there. I started getting images in my head of her story and what she was telling me. And there was actually a medium that was standing right next to me, and she was basically confirming everything that I was feeling and whatever. And and it was just it got so emotional for me. But when we're in locations and I'm trying to communicate with the dowsing rods, you'll see me, and I've actually seen myself do it on the recordings. Is you'll see me like kind of pause, tilt my head, and be like, and then all of a sudden that's when that image pops up in my brain, and then I'll ask a question like, are you this or are you that, or are this, and right away we got a yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. I if you've ever been on an investigation with me, you'll notice I'm only wearing one ring right now, but you'll notice I wear several rings.
Yes.
And it's because of
I did.
it's because of the ability I have to manipulate energy. Putting the rings on actually allows me to focus and manipulate the energy easier. Otherwise, it's just kind of like all over the place.
I have never seen that technique before.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, metal in my hand seems to work for me. Crystals don't do it. Rocks don't do it. It's got to be hard metal, steel, stainless steel, copper, brass.
I mean, everyone has their own thing that works for them.
Yeah.
You have to make it work for your own particular situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But I see we're at about 3 minutes over. Guys, if you wouldn't mind hanging out in the background for like another minute. I know Gwen has a few after ads.
Yeah.
Look, I greatly appreciate you guys coming on, and I would love to have you back on in the future.
All right. Thank
Definitely.
you. I'd love to.
Thank you for having us. This was a lot of fun.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed
Thank
it.
you for coming.
Do
Thank you
not
for
thank
coming.
me. I thank you guys for coming on the show.
Our pleasure.
But guys, this was the
All right.
Paranormal Unveiled podcast with SPIRE Paranormal. And you know what? Tune in next week if you want, I guess. Yeah. I'm not going to close the
Come
show,
on.
guys.
Come watch us. Come watch us. Come on.
Just come
Yep.
watch us.
Come
But-
watch
Just
us.
come and watch.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. And SPIRE Paranormal, thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
Yeah.
I am horrible at closing out shows. I don't know how to do it.
Just say, have a great night, everybody.
Fine.
Bye.
Have a great night, everybody.
There we go. We only end it now.
But that's all, folks.
Yep.